Hello and good morning, everybody. It's Samantha. If you're new here, I go by Thrifty on a Dime on all social media platforms. I talk about ways to make money, whether you're looking for part-time, full-time, or just supplemental income. So be sure you do subscribe to my channel. I will be putting all kinds of content to help you guys make some money as well. So today I am here at my storage unit. I'm going to be grabbing some bags of clothing that I purchased on a pallet, and I'm going to be going to flip them at Style Encore and Plato's Closet. So be sure you tune in to see just what kind of money you can make on the spot. If you're not looking to, have inventory on hand, you're not looking to ship items and stuff like that, well, keep watching because I'll share how much you could potentially make just selling straight on the spot. Hello everyone and welcome back. So I had all these high hopes to get the video done in the same day for you guys, but I had my 5-month-old with me on top of dropping the items off and trying to find items to resell, and then picking back up the items and then coming back to town to get my 9-year-old off the bus. So long story short, I was exhausted and there was no way I was going to get that video out on top of eating and, getting my girls settled and figuring out the whole inventory thing. So with that being said, I am here to finish the video for you guys, and I was able to make $754 in 3 hours selling to Style Encore and Once Upon a Child. It's not a huge profit margin, but when you think I'm not listing these items online, meaning I'm not photographing them, I'm not bagging them, I'm not printing a label for them, I'm not spending my time shipping them, putting them in inventory, I'm not doing all that. So I'm skipping that step. I'm literally just, when I get my pallet in, I'm putting in the IKEA bags and I'm making my pile of items that I'm listing. So then the IKEA bags, I don't even have to think about them. All I had to do was fold them up, put them in the bags, put them in the storage unit until I'm ready to go sourcing. So I want to share kind of what items they took and what brands, because I have a lot of questions on my Instagram asking me, hey, I can't ever sell anything there. What sells and what are the price points? How much can I expect to make? And those are all great questions. And I have spent years going to these stores, specifically in my area, to see what sells for them as far as browsing, their aisles and seeing their styles, brand names, and then kind of checking out what prices they're listing items at, because you can expect to get a third of what they list their item at as far as Style Encore, Plato's, and Once Upon a Child. I don't know if in your area you might have one that's a buy on the spot, but it's different. So like I said, I'm here in the Midwest, and that's just what I do here is I'll browse their aisles, see what's selling. And then on top of that, when you do sell items to them, if they give you items back, ask them why didn't you take these items? Can you help me out? And then they give you the generic thing like, oh, date stamps and it was style issue or a peel here, tear there. Don't be afraid to ask them questions. Pull out a piece and be like, for example, can you explain this piece? It's really cute. I thought it was trendy. It's a name brand. Why didn't you take it? There's no stains, whatever. I'm really curious because I want to get better items to you guys next time so that we don't waste each other's time. And then they're more than willing to share what they're actually taking at that time or why they didn't take a piece from you. So, pull out a few and use that as a knowledge trip, okay? They didn't take anything, but I was able to learn for next time. And maybe this is not something you want to do, and that's understandable. But this is something that I do on top of reselling online. And so this is not my main income. This is just something I do when I go out and source. I like to just drop off clothes to make money. I go source, go pick up the clothes, and I'll leave town. So I have spent years learning what is selling at that store, what price points and brands. And it's going to be different for every single store, and it's going to be different for every region. So just like I said, go to your own store. Even if it's an hour away, take that time, make that trip, learn that knowledge. Because like me, you could buy a pallet of clothing and yes, you want to list maybe, 100 items out of 1,000. Well, that's 900 items now that you have to figure out what you're going to do. And what I like to do is take those items, break them down, take off the stickers or whatever I have to do. I'll bag them in IKEA bags and I'll sit them, in my storage unit or wherever to take the next time I go sourcing. So when I go sourcing, I'll load up the car with the 5 IKEA bags, however many 8 bags I have ready. I will go drop those off at the store. And as they're buying my items, I will be going out and sourcing for my own online business. When they send me that text, if I'm ready to leave town, I will go pick up my items, pick up the check, and I'll leave town. Now, before I'll go sourcing, I will set a certain amount of items that I want to list before going. Since online is my main income and the main source of where I make my money, I am going to force myself to get up just a little bit earlier than I normally would. List those 10, 20, 30 items, whatever amount I set for that day, list those items. Then I will go get the items to, put in my van, to take, to style, the IKEA bags, whatever. I'll get those loaded up and then I'll leave town. When I leave town, I'll drop those bags off. Like I said, I'll go source, go pick them up, come back to town, and that's it. So what items are selling in particular? For me personally, I sell Target brands. I have learned that this Target top will get the same price as this Free People top more than likely. Sometimes they'll price Free People just a little bit more. So with that being said, am I going to take this Free People top if I'm only going to get $3.50 is what they pay for shirts? We'll just give it as an example. Am I going to take this Free People top here? No, I'm going to list that myself. But if they're going to pay the same price for this Target top and I can get this Target top for $1.50, why not buy it, go take it there to sell it? Yes, it's only $1.50 profit or $2 profit, whatever it is. That's $2 extra in your pocket that you literally only had to bag them up and take them there and drop them off as you're sourcing. So it just adds a little bit extra time and effort from you, but it's going to increase your profit margins tremendously because, hey, maybe you didn't sell anything online that day, but you did go sell items locally. So you did make money that day. Even though I went sourcing and technically I spent money, more than likely I have made more money at these stores than I spent. So it's kind of like a mental thing for me, like, oh, that's, I'm like, I made money that day as well as I got more items to invest to make more money in the future. And something I was just touching on is the brand thing. Sometimes the brand will not matter as much as it's a shirt. Most brands will fall into the same category and you're going to get priced the same. So most shirts are going to price at $12 to $16 and you're going to get a third of that. Jeans, $18 to $22, again, you're going to get a third of that. So for me, what I can expect is, say, $3.50 for shirts, $5 for denim. Coats, I'm going to get $7.50 to $12 for. So with this knowledge and knowing that the brand doesn't matter as much as, is it new with tags? If it's not new with tags, is there any stains, rips, tears? And is there a date code? If there's no date code, there's no way for them to be like, well, it's not a current piece because it says right here it was made this date. So if it doesn't have all those items, they're going to take your item and they're going to give you this set amount. So with me knowing this, I know even if I buy this palette that's new with tags and I only have 100 items that I want to keep, it's going to be worth my time because I can break that down and go resell it at these buy on the spot stores. So take your time, piece the knowledge together. Go through the store, like I said, browse what they're buying. Browse the prices that they're actually listing them for, styles, and stuff like that. Talk to the associates. With you talking to the associates on why they didn't take your item, or if you didn't bring items, what items are you looking for? You're building rapport with these people, and the more time that you come in, the more time you talk to them, the more time, you're friendly with them, you're building this kind of relationship that's like a work relationship, essentially. And I've been able to build quite a bit of relationships that have helped me tremendously as far as knowing if I should even go in that day. Is it going to be worth it? Or, finding out information as far as, hey, they're going to be having a sale coming up. She can't tell me when, but I'll be on the lookout and stuff like that. So I am a firm believer in chopping it up with the store people. Do you have to tell them every detail of what you're doing? No. Do I? No, but I do tell them I resell. I mean, I don't have an issue with telling them I resell. At first I was worried because I'm like, well, what if they don't even want to buy my stuff because of this reason? But before I gave them all my information, I actually asked them, So if it's new with tags, what kind of items do you buy? And they're like, we buy them. If it's new with tags, we'll buy them all, as long as it's not past the 2-year, age that they don't allow. They'll buy them all. So with that being said, that's when I was like, oh, okay. So even if you have multiples of the same item, yep, we'll buy them. So that's when I kind of slowly started being like, oh yeah, I have a YouTube channel, check this out. And that's when I kind of built that relationship with the managers, and now we know each other by name, which is pretty awesome. And again, this didn't happen overnight. So if you're looking to supplement your income and you're like, wow, this seems like so much information, I have so many questions, so did I. I still do. But I promise you, like, if you go once a week, once a month, but every time you go, you build upon the knowledge that you had before, you're gonna know what to bring. You're going to know what kind of prices you can expect. And it's going to be easier each time that you go there. And you don't have to bring as many items as me. Maybe you only want to bring one IKEA bag worth. Maybe your goal is only to make an extra $50 to cover your gas while you're going sourcing. That is doable. You don't have to do as many as me. My goal was a little bit bigger just because I am buying pallets now instead of cases. And with me being a nurse also, I just don't have enough time to list every single item myself, but I am trying to grow bigger. So I want to go sell on the spot. And that's why I have so many items. More tip, actually two, before I leave that I want to give to you guys. I mentioned the date code. Sometimes you'll have Under Armour Nike pieces that are really nice. They're still in good shape, they're still in style, but the date code is just a month or two or even a year out of style. If you just cut that date code out pretty much every time they've taken my items, because they're in good shape, it's just that date was just a little bit out of their, range. And they are inclined to already just not even think about taking the item as soon as they see that date code. So if you cut that out, that is one super tip that you can do for them to take most of your items. Another one is, once you get your estimate, if you're like, well, I know I had a couple pieces in there that I really wanted a little bit more for. I'm just curious what they're taking for it. Ask them to print you out an itemized receipt, and it will tell you how much they're paying per item. And then you can just be like, hey, I'm curious about Free People top. Well, they'll go through and they'll tell you, hey, this is how much we're paying for it. And then if you ask them questions, well, how come you're only paying me this much for it? I'm surprised because I actually found a piece out there that was the exact same and you priced it at this. Well, maybe they missed putting in the brand, or maybe they put it as a a tank top instead of a blouse or something like that. Just one miss of those buttons will change it from $3 to $5. So don't be afraid to actually go through if you have a ton of items and ask them questions per item. I have done this, and I turned my $400 into $520 because someone accidentally put like loafers on tennis shoes, and loafers they only price at $8 versus tennis shoes they price at $20 to $25. So this is just a small tip to increase why you're there. And yes, it might take a little bit extra. And yes, you might be a little bit embarrassed to ask them to do every single item. But if it's going to make you more money, who cares? They don't care. That's their job. Yeah, they might huff and puff, but it's okay, because that's what they're there for. You're there to sell to them. They're there to buy from you, because that's, that's the relationship that you guys are going to have. But I didn't spend as much to make that much money. So it's been great, a great supplemental way to make some income and source as well as make money while I'm sourcing. I did it all while having my 5-month-old. Was it crazy? Was it insane? Was it like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this? Yeah, it was, but I did it. And really, she behaved. She was really good. She slept most of the time. I just had to stop a couple times to feed her, change her, and that was about it. And she was just fine being with mommy. So don't freak out, guys. If you think, oh my gosh, what if, she wants to eat? What if she cries? What if she does this? It's going to happen. Babies do that, just if you have a goal in mind and you really want to make that money, you're going to make it happen. So you're going to make it happen regardless. If you have to leave, then go ahead and just leave, If it ends up like she's not going to behave, or he, whichever, isn't going to behave, and you can't finish what you're doing, you don't have to stress about it. Go the next day. Try again. Keep trying. And you figure it out. You'll figure it out like I was able to. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you're wondering, any more questions about it, or you just want to say hi, just comment below. And until then, till next time, guys, I'm just really thankful for you all, and I hope that you all have a great day.